Hello, everybody. We're just kicking off our webinar today. I'd like to welcome you all here. Looks like everything's set up. So, morena, everyone. Thank you for taking the time to join us for our Yield webinar series. My name is Rhonda, and I'm going to be the moderator for today's webinar. We are using this new webinar tool to moderate the webinar for the first time, so Nidhi and I are a little bit nervous. But please, if you have any issues or any feedback on the tool at all, please just feel free to chat that to us in the bottom right space, and I can help you if there's anything that's coming up. But we'd also appreciate your feedback on how usable it is from your end as well. Today, our webinar topic is SEO tips to improve your rankings. We will be learning how to optimize your website through an SEO audit to help you boost your rankings. And our expert today is Nidhi. Hi, Nidhi.
Hey, Rhonda.
Nidhi is a marketing specialist here at Yield. She has led large digital marketing teams overseas with particular expertise in SEO and AdWords. Since being in New Zealand, Nidhi has specialised in the SME area. And Nidhi has been with Yield for over 3 years now, I think, isn't it, Nidhi? Over 3 years? Yeah. And I've seen how Nidhi's marketing expertise has helped a wide range of SME businesses get great results online. Before I hand over to Nidhi, we've just got a little bit of housekeeping here. At any point, feel free to send a message into the chat or ask a question. You can switch between chat mode and question mode in the bottom right-hand corner of the chat. And we will save your questions until the end. However, please feel free to post them as you go so you don't have to remember them. And also, if it makes sense to bring them up during the segment, then I will stop Nidhi and ask the question. Once we get to the Q&A section at the end, you can participate by either requesting to speak directly with us, or you can just post them in that chat area, and then I will read them to Nidhi. If you'd like to go back to this webinar or watch previous webinars, we do record all of these and they can be found on our website and YouTube channel. And we will be sending out a link of today's webinar after this. And with this new tool, you'll be able to re-watch it and ask questions, and those questions will come back to us and we will be able to answer them even after this webinar when you're re-watching. So we were thinking that's a really useful thing to do, because often it's not till you're going through again that you might have new things that you need help with. So I'll hand it over to you, Nidhi.
All right. So, guys, good morning. Today's big topic is SEO tips to improve your rankings. What we will be briefly covering in today's webinar is about how to audit your website in SEO tools, using SEO tools, plus some DIY tips on how you can yourself do SEO on your website to get those organic rankings up. Let's kick in. So what is actually SEO audit? SEO audit is the process of analyzing how your website presence is performing well and how it relates to the best practices. It is important to identify strengths, weaknesses, and potentials for your long-term website success. SEO audits aim to identify as many foundational technical issues affecting organic search as possible. Technical SEO pertains to aiding SEO engines crawl your website better. So whenever you're using an SEO tool, it will definitely flag some errors and issues, which you can, really work upon and go one by one and start working on your website accordingly through these intense SEO tools. This is a sample of SEMRush tool, which I tend to use a lot for my clients. Like you can see that it gives you an overall site health score, which is 47% here, not a good one. So it should be around 70, 80%, which is a good score. And yes, there is always a room for 10 or 20% of errors in the website, which you will be seeing flagged by this particular tool. These are the errors, warnings, notices. We'll be covering in the next few slides what are these all about. And you can also see some crawlability issues, site performance issues. This is something related to the speed of the website, and some linking and markup issues, which are also flagged here. So these kind of tools really help you get your SEO up and running for these websites. And with SEMRush, the beauty of this tool is it gives you a detailed and very comprehensive details of what needs to be done and what action you can take for your website in order to improvise the SEO. So this is again a sample screenshot more in detail. So errors here means issues of highest severity that were detected during the audit. These are particularly the 404 errors or some pages which are not crawling properly, or it could be any broken pages which needs immediate attention from your side. And then we have warnings. Warnings are basically you don't have to be very particular about them. I mean, you can still ignore them because they are medium warning severity detected during the audit. But yes, some warnings which I think are related to the speed issues and some mobile responsiveness needs to be taken care of, because nowadays responsiveness is quite important. Responsiveness here, I mean, is the website looking great in all the devices and in all the sizes. So just taking care of those warnings is quite important. Then we have notices also here. Notices are not issues that need immediate attention, but will also need to be fixed to improve your website's SEO health. So yes, errors are of highest priority, warnings are of medium priority, and then notices can be taken care of later. So like I told you, this is the overall health score, which is 47% here. This score gives you the website to rate its SEO health. It is generated basically on the number of issues detected during the audit. Lesser website errors and warnings, and means you will get the higher score for this one. Then just going and digging in much like a bit deeper here, we have crawlability issues. Crawlability issues here basically are the indexability issues, like some of your links are broken and they cannot be crawled properly. Crawled here, I mean, is Google cannot index them in their search engines. So in case you are working on some new pages, or you have recently launched some new pages and they are not indexed in Google, this could be a problem. So making sure all your pages are indexed properly. And then HTTPS requests are related to the security and the architecture of the website. There can be some serious problems in case your pages are not secure. So just making sure it's up to the mark. Then we have site performance. Again, this is related to the speed and responsiveness of the website. So making sure all your pages are properly having high speed, and they are properly responsive in all the device sizes. You can also click here on View Details tab here, and this will expand into the list of links and what actions you might need to take in order to work on the SEO side of the things. And then we have also internal linking, which is 69% score here. Um, I have covered this in a lot of my previous webinar, like how important is backlinking and interlinking of the website. So making sure the navigation of the website is very smooth, and you are using proper call to actions and hyperlinking in between the blogs or in between your pages. So internal linking is quite important, and it adds to your SEO health score. Then we have markup. Markup score is basically the invalid structure data items, and check-in uses the site's algorithm. So this is something to do with your semantics and for your metadata, which we will be covering in coming slides, how to DIY, metadata on your website for each and every page. So this is something which we will be covering. And then we have core web vitals. So this is percentage of all the good pages on the website, so which are done in this website, so which are up to the mark and have a good health score, which are speedy and which are responsive. So making sure and just keeping a track of these core web vital pages. So the first tip I would like to give here, when you are doing a SEO audit or working on SEO of the website, to use a good tool. There are many free tools available on the internet, and you can also contact Zealed for giving a free site audit for SEO. And our reports are quite comprehensive and gives you vital details about the problems in your website according to the speed, in reference to the responsiveness and XYZ factors, which are quite important for SEO. So just using some tools here, SEMRush is quite renowned, which you can also yourself use. SEObility is also another one which you can use online. And you just need to paste the URL of your website address, and the report will be generated automatically. Okay, the second tip, which is usually covered in these audit reports, is making sure the Google indexes only one version of your website. This is the problem. In some of the cases, we tend to submit a lot of versions of the same website to Google, which is incorrect. There should be only one indexed version of your website in Google Search Console. So we always use Google Search Console. Google Search Console is Google's tool itself. So it indexes your website. It also gives you details about the performance of the website, crawlability issues, and whatnot. In most cases, there are different versions of your website indexed in Google, and redirecting these versions properly and making sure they all end up on the same URL is quite important. So the 301 redirect can help you redirect your URLs to the version you want to use. So there should be only one version where all your links are redirecting. No matter how many domains you are using, but still there should be like one landing version of your website for the same URLs. And for that, you can use 301 redirects if you're having a lot of domains which are redirecting to your main site. And then speed. Speeding up your website is vital here. This boosts better user experience, more conversions, and reduces the bounce rate. So bounce rate here, I mean when people come on your website and then they exit the pages because of frustration or because of delays in page loading. So it making sure that you have right speed of your web pages, like which should be under 5 seconds. So better speed is quite important for all your web pages, even if they are loading the product pages, which are quite heavy, but they should be loaded in place, or they should be loaded under 5 seconds. Otherwise you can be flagged by Google, which is that the site speed is quite low. So making sure, checking that manually also. If your website is loading slow, contact your server people, or just making sure you are using the tips from the SEO Audit tool. Google says that your site's loading speed is a ranking factor in mobile search. See, if your website speed is under 5 seconds, Google also ranks you better in mobile search engine pages. And cleaning your site's HTML code, use Page Speed Insights to easily find the problems. This is the tool which I use, Page Speed Insights. This will give you a very detailed overview of your website and will flag those pages which are particularly slow to load. So making sure you're using these tools in order to check. We also have some other tools which are for the speed test, like webpagetest.org, GTmetrix, which helps you and gives you tips around compressing your images. And you can also use Karakin to do so, which is another tool which you can use for compressing images and checking the speed of the website. All right, so coming to the fourth tip here, find and delete the zombie pages. Zombie pages here, I mean, is on which are on your website and that are getting little or no traffic at all. So just monitoring through those pages, you can also use Google Analytics tool in order to check like which pages are getting no traffic at all, or which are very, very low on traffic. So just deleting those zombie pages is a very good idea, just to improve your overall health of the website. So these are the pages that are usually out of date, or you're not using them anymore, or not updating them, or maybe it could have, some old information which is no more relevant to your business. Or also, these are the pages with less than 300 words. So that's why we encourage our clients to at least go with like 500 words on each page. There should be at least 500 words, unless you are talking about the category pages or the product pages only. But yes, when it comes to content pages, it should at least have 300 words, which is a good sign in the eyes of Google, for the healthy content and for the healthy pages. The pages which are not optimized for SEO are also a no-no factor for Google. So, and these unindexed pages or orphan pages. So making sure you are cleaning up those pages on the website in case there are some content pages which are redundant or which you are not no longer using it. Having more content doesn't make your site better. If your content isn't SEO optimized and does not provide genuine value, or just isn't getting any enough traffic, you can either update your content or delete the pages. So SEO optimized content is quite important. Not stuffing a lot of keywords in the content, but yes, just using them mindfully, and incorporating those high traffic keywords in the content is quite important. But yes, again, I'm reinstating this, not stuffing those keywords in the content, which doesn't make any sense. So just smartly incorporating them is a very good idea in your content pages. Okay. Okay, this is the sixth tip is use Google Analytics to check your organic traffic. So this is what we have taught in the past also through our webinars, how you can um, put a Google Analytics tag on your website and how you can track your overall traffic on the website. So here I'm emphasizing about the organic traffic because SEO is all about organic. But you can also keep a track of direct traffic or referral traffic on your website, or the traffic which is coming through your paid advertising also from Google Analytics. So this is my go-to tool to check and keep track of website, whether the conversions are happening or whether the revenue is generating or how overall campaigns are performing. So making sure you have Google Analytics, you are tracking with Google Analytics. So Google Tag Assistant browser plugin helps verify that the tracking code is correctly installed. You can also, if you're on Zest, you can also contact our support team. They're very, very helpful in order to help you set up this Google Analytics trackings. And you can also refer to our help documents for tutorials on how to set up on your own. The Tag Assistant helps verify your analytics code and helps with Google tracking tags designed for the other marketing channels. So I'll just go through some of the screenshots in the next few slides. Yeah. So this is a sample screenshot of how Google Analytics looks like. Like you can see all users here is the overall traffic on the website. This includes the paid traffic, the referral traffic, the traffic coming from direct sources. Plus, I have also added an extra filter, which is for organic, just to check on organic traffic solely on the website. So like you can see the stats below here, all users and organic traffic. The sessions are 75,981, whereas these are the total sessions, whereas out of these, organic were 47,680. So because organic brings the main chunk of traffic on the website, so it's important to check and keep track of the organic traffic. So if you encounter a very low organic traffic, that means you're not ranking on top high keywords, which is quite a vital thing for a website's SEO. So just making sure, checking on this organic traffic and doing a manual research also yourself by using those high traffic keywords, whether you're ranking or not, really plays a vital role here. So it's important to keep track of organic traffic, and just looking at how much revenue you are generating, how many transactions are coming through SEO channel. So all those things are quite important to track. This is another screenshot of another website. So this is something same. Yeah, like you can see here, the overall users were 107,912, plus organic was quite less, 35,000. I would really be considering this screenshot. I mean, I would be really worried about the website, why organic traffic is very, very low as compared to the overall traffic. Maybe most of the revenue is coming from the paid channels, which is a good thing that your campaigns are firing, but still, this is a concern from organic side of the things that, you're not ranking well in organics. That's why the traffic is quite less as compared to the overall traffic. So I believe SEO should contribute to at least 50 to 60% at least of the overall traffic, and then rest can be, from your paid channels or from your direct or um, referral traffic sources. Seventh tip here, improve your on-page SEO. So we have discussed two terms here, off-page SEO and on-page SEO. On-page SEO is what you do on the actual website, and off-page is referring to the technical things like speed, indexability, crawlability issues, and all those things. So identifying your site's 5 most important pages to optimize, especially for the content and metadatas. Optimize your metadata, making sure that you're using target keywords. Use super short URLs as they rank better. Long URLs is a big no-no for the ranking. So making sure your URLs are short and crisp and matching the headings of the pages, including your target keywords in the URL title tag and in the first 100 words of your content. So this is quite important. Like if you want to rank on a particular keyword, making sure that you are using those keywords, in the header tags. If not in the content, then at least in the header tags, or if not in the header tags, or you can also use in the URL. So I'm just making sure that you are incorporating those important keywords. And use LSI, latent semantic indexing. Keywords are words that are related to the main keyword. You can do this by using a longer content to rank higher. These are long tail keywords. If you are not ranking on very high traffic keyword, which are short and highly competitive, so you can still work on long tail keywords for your website, which still works. People tend to use long tail keywords. I tend to use a lot. All right, so we have this example of a website of one of my client. So we have just blurred the name, and this is an optimized metadata sample, which we are showing you here, how you can write the metadata for these internal pages and for the main pages. So just keep making sure that you have one primary focus keyword, like for the home page, this could be the primary keyword, and then this is the meta title. So this is the proposed um, character limit, 45 to 60 for your meta titles. Otherwise, if you're going beyond that, Google will truncate it and it won't show. So it's better you keep it in the character limits. Plus, the meta description, 145 to 160 is the recommended limit. Do not go beyond that. A quick tip here, always use the call to actions in the last, like when you are putting an introductory line. XYZ company provides professional sanitization services for residential and commercial buildings. This is your brand message with our specialized technicians. And then call us or contact us or send us an inquiry. So these can be quick call to actions which you can put in the last. It really helps your customers to know what they're supposed to do when they're coming on your website. So yeah, writing effective metadata is a very important part for on-page SEO, making sure that you are covering all the important pages of your website. This is again a second screenshot, much clearer than the previous one. So you can see that this is for the kitchenware page. This is one of our cutlery client. And then we have, this is the primary focus keyword, eco-friendly kitchenware. And Must have eco-friendly kitchenware, sustainable products, and then get the most value of your money when you shop for any of our eco kitchenware. You can also promote offers here in the metadatas if you are running those offers for quite a long time and you don't want to, again and again change. And lines like get 10% offer, or avail 10% discount when you log in the website for the first time, for the first time users, stuff like that really helps, to create attractive metadatas. This is another example. Like you can see, healthy meals Auckland. This is the primary focus keyword for this particular page. Get a taste of our mouth-watering gourmet, fresh and homemade meals in a selection of healthy meal options to suit your taste. Order online today. So this is the call to action here. And then keeping it up to 148 only, which is under the character limit, so that it's right and visible in the search engines. So the next step is set up keyword ranking, rank tracking. So a lot of my clients also ask me about, like, how can I find the keywords which I'm supposed to use? How would I know which are the high traffic keywords? There are a lot of tools, keyword tools, which really helps us to find out those high traffic ones for our website and for our industry. So keyword ranking provides some vital insights on how you can into how your website and content performs in search engines. Again, SEMRush can also be used for this thing, but you can also use Keyword Ranker and Keyword Planner. Google Keyword Planner is right from Google. It also gives you insights about the traffic, and it also gives you insight about what could be the bidding price in case you're planning to run ads in future. So Google Keyword Planner can be one of the free tools which you can use if you have signed up for ads. It also enables you to monitor your competitors and their keywords that get most of the traffic. This is through SEMRush, which also gives you competitor analysis of what keywords they are using. So it's quite an in-depth tool. And then analyzing your backlinks. So, of course, malicious or spammy backlinks can hurt your site's ranking. So, just making sure that you are having good backlink score of your website, and all those spammy and malicious links are no more associated with your website. Otherwise, Google really penalizes your website. So you can use any of these backlink analysis tools: Ahrefs, Majestic SEO, or Moz Pro. There are some free versions also available for these tools, which you can just check and run a test for your website and see where are you ranking in terms of backlink tool, backlinking analysis. So enter your homepage and you'll get a report on your links. Then check out referring to domains and domain authority. Domain authority is like how longer your domain has been in Google for. So domain authority is decided by the age of the domain. So just keeping track of this. So never lose your old domains. So this is a quick tip here. So domain age is quite important because, like, if you're changing your brand names and domain names very often, it doesn't go well with SEO of the website. So you lose all your previous SEO. So domain name change is a very important decision and a very big decision when it comes to SEO. So domain age plays an important role here when it comes to SEO. And look for always toxic links. If in case by chance your website is linked up to some spammy or malicious websites, making sure of these things. Your backlinks should come from a real website. So if you are having affiliations, or you're working with co-partners or some other websites also, which just because of the nature of your business, do ask them to give you a backlink. They can also put your website URL or link your website URL through call to actions or some logos, and they can hyperlink your logos on their website, so that really improvise your backlink score. 10th tip, fixing the broken links. Broken links can reduce your credibility and trustworthiness, thus are really bad for user experience. So it sends signals to Google that your site is outdated, which would greatly hurt your rankings. So use a tool to find broken internal and external links like these. The index report or the Google Search Console or the broken link checker tool can find broken pages and links on your website. Making sure all your pages are live and they have content in them. Your website shouldn't have any associated 404 pages which are outdated and no longer exists, but they still rank on the search engines, which is really a bad impression. And Google's really penalizes and put down those websites in the organic rankings which are having a lot of 404 error links. So making sure you're checking this, because you tend to update your website, you sometimes change the URLs and the old URL goes to the 404 error. And if those pages are indexed in Google and they're still ranking in Google, it's not a good sign. So making sure you're de-indexing those pages or completely removing them from your website. You can use Google Search Console to de-index those pages. You just have to put the URL of the 404 page and request Google to completely remove from the indexing of the website. Okay, so the 11th tip here is flattening your website architecture. As you can see from the screenshots here, this is a very complicated architecture of a website. Like, you have the homepage, you have the subtabs, and then again you have three subtabs, and then this is having only two tabs, and this is having four or so tabs, and then this again is having another tab. So this is a very complicated structure. So nesting is important. Nesting makes your website look sorted, but nesting should be done of the tabs like this. Like, for example, this is the homepage, and then you have four categories of the products you're selling, and then under those four categories you have another four categories, and or two for this, or this is a proper website structure which you should follow, not this. This is quite complicated, and it gets difficult for Google robots to crawl these pages and index the sitemaps because of the complicated structure. So your website architecture is basically the structure of how your content is organized on your website. It lets the search engine know which of your pages are most important and which should be indexed first. The more clicks it takes to get to a page on your website, the more search engines consider is as less important. So like you can see here, it's getting quite nested here for this particular pages here, these four pages underneath the complicated structure. So it really, you don't have to complicate stuff, because otherwise Google won't be able to crawl these pages. The more sorted your website architecture and your sitemap is, there are more chances that Google will crawl these pages smoothly. Having a flat website structure also means easier navigation for your customers. So we have to make it easy for the customers so that they can easily navigate through the pages and can find the right products, whatever they're looking for. Um, a bonus tip here to optimize your featured snippets. Featured snippets enables you to know your audience behavior insights and gives you higher brand authority and higher click-through rate. So optimizing feature snippets can drive your site on top of the search engines, increasing its traffic. Just making few adjustments to your page's content sometimes do wonders. So just making sure you're using these featured snippets on your website and optimize your content for mobile, have HTTPS installed, like this is for the security, and maximize the headers and link out to a credible resources. Just making sure all your content is good to go, you are using proper heading tags and dividing your content in bullets, not like just cutting and pasting, whole heaps of data on one page. No, it should be aligned, it should be in paragraphs, it should be bulleted points, it should have proper headings and SEO optimized content, plus with some high focus or high traffic keywords incorporated in them. So yeah, that's it. So we have come to the questions now.
Awesome, Nidhi. Thank you so much for that. I'm just going to stop the slides there. So if you've got questions, please just pop them in the chat or put your hand up if you want to jump into the webinar. You can see there's a little hand that you can do to come in. Otherwise, just pop it into the chat, either the question part of the chat or the main part of the chat if you've got questions. Nidhi, I'm a little bit familiar with SEO, but I'm not an expert like you. For me, it kind of looks a little bit like an art and a science. You know, you've got these very advanced tools and quite a number of them that you
Mhm.
can kind of use to get some glaringly obvious things to do. And then you've got all this content stuff that you could do, which, you know,
Right.
making it nice and look good. Which would you do first? You know, would you kind of, what's most important to tackle first, would you say, in SEO?
So I would really suggest to work on the content side of the things first and taking care of the metadatas, which is quite an important aspect. And also, like, see, on page and off page both are having their own importance. So on page is important because that's the ranking factor for your website, and that really helps you build those organic rankings. But if your off page is not up to the mark and you are ignoring those issues and warnings which are related to indexability and crawlability, then you can that can really put off your website, and Google can really penalize you for that, and you don't want to rank below your competitors. So I think it's important to concentrate on both side of the things, but yes, making sure to start with the metadatas first, the content first, the architecture then, and then focusing on these warnings and issues. Especially, I would say never ignore responsiveness, which is vital in SEO, because nowadays a lot of people are using mobile phones to browse websites. So responsiveness is very important.
Right. Excuse me, Nidhi. Thank you. How long does it take to rank on Google? I mean, everybody wants to rank number one, right? And what I've heard recently too is that it's getting harder and harder because, like, there used to be like just one plumber that in your
Mhm.
area that had an online presence, and now there's a number
Competition is
in
so
that one area.
high.
Yeah. So, you know, but when you're talking about SEO, how long does it take for that to help you rank?
The answer for many SEOs, it really depends what keywords you're focusing on. Long gone are the days when you're launching a website and optimizing your title tags and ranking in few weeks. It's not happening nowadays that easily because of the competition. Because in your area, like you said, if you're a plumbing website, there are lots of competitors in the markets, which can really, take time for your website to rank for. You can launch a website and expect it to rank for competitive search queries overnight. It takes time for a website to perform organically as Google ranks relevant sites that have built up authority. So you need to earn your way to the top of Google and deserve to be there. So you have to be like up to the mark with each and every aspect. But expect like from 6 to 1 year of time if you're willing to rank on a very competitive keyword and your market is like highly competitive, expect at least 6 months.
Awesome. Thank you, Nidhi. Sorry, I was just replying to a question while you're doing that. Um, should I do SEO, run PPC ads, or both? And I think this is the big question, like you were saying before, when you said that for your traffic, you would expect around a 60% of that on
Mhm.
organic and the 40% with maybe perhaps paid advertising. So how
Mhm.
do you decide which is the best to kind of do?
See, from the marketing point of view, ideally, a business should balance multiple marketing channels to avoid a reliance on any single source of traffic. Like I was showing in the screenshots before in the webinar today, like how organic contributes to the 50% and rest 50% is also very important for which comes from PPC ads and doing the direct traffic sources and etc. But especially for smaller businesses, budget is quite a challenge. So resources must be allocated efficiently. So funds aren't endless for them. so they are bounded by funds. So it's essential to balance a long-term SEO strategy with a smaller but targeted PPC campaign. So you can run the PPC campaign on a very low budget if you're a small business and you're limited by budget. Like you can start with $10 a day just to boost some paid traffic on the website. But yes, SEO is free of cost, and it's a long term strategy to rank you better in organics, and which will give you results in longer run. So I would advise to focus on both, but yes, just be mindful of the budget because PPC ads are costly. So you
Mm,
can run them on a minimum budget and focus entirely on SEO as well.
okay, thank you. I think it's good to know if you're a charity that you can get some sponsored budget from Google.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know any of our attendees are charity people, but yeah, I run a charity and uh, we get 10,000 a month. You can't actually spend that much, which is quite crazy how Google does it. But we do ads to help us from a charity perspective. But yeah, we can't forget the SEO, of course.
Yeah, I think it's for non-profit organizations
Yeah,
only.
yeah,
Yeah.
for charities, non for profit, but it is a nice side of Google to mention if anybody's involved in that space.
Google tends
Um,
to give a lot of vouchers also nowadays. Like if you are signing up for the first time, it will give you some, X allocated budget for your campaigns for free. And then, I mean, if you're a recurring or a very regular, customer and you're running PPC ads, it also gives you some, vouchers from time to time also.
yeah,
Like in 6 months' time, sometimes you get free, $100 from them.
yeah. I mean, still, it
Yeah.
costs a lot, but good on them for giving you a little bit. Um, I guess one of the things with SEO is the whole point is to doing all these things is to make you more attractive to Google, really, to help you come up in those rankings. So what do you think are Google's most important ranking factors? Out of everything that we've talked about, what would you say
Mhm.
were the most important?
So, so Google confirmed its top three ranking factors as links, content, and the ranking. So I would really say the additional factors such as are the time on the site, like how much time people are spending on the website. If your website is having a good session duration, like the average session duration is something like the average time spent by a user on the website, if they are spending good amount of time and they're referring domains and the content length is good to go, and your website is having a good backlink score, the ranking factors are more, and of course your metadatas are up to the mark for all your important pages which are ranking in Google. It really helps for getting those organic rankings. So these are the top ranking factors: time on the website, and content on the website, metadatas on the website, and the backlink score.
Oh, interesting. Maybe if you've got any other questions, please just put them in because we're just down to our last one or two that we have time for. But basically, how can I find the keywords that people are searching for to find businesses like mine? I think you mentioned a little bit about this. Use a couple of tools, is that right?
Yeah, yeah. So you need to know what people are searching for and Google to find the businesses like yours to optimize the site for these terms. So you can use either Google's keyword planner tool, like I said in the previous slides when I was discussing the keyword planning, or you can use the SEMRush keyword magic tool, which is, which gives you the competitor analysis also. But with Google Keyword Planner, the beauty of that tool is if you're planning to run ads also, it gives you the volume of traffic you can, you can consider on those high traffic keywords. Plus, it gives you ideas about like how much it's going to cost per click. But you don't have to worry about that when you're doing SEO. But it still gives you high volume keyword list which your competitors are using and which are related to your industries. So these two tools are quite important, which you can use. And you don't have to work on 50 keywords or 100 keywords for SEO. Just focus on 10
Mm,
most vital ones,
mm.
and then formulate your strategy accordingly, use them in your metadata, use them in your content, and then slowly and gradually switch to more keywords. Once you have started ranking on those 10 keywords, which are of utmost importance, then you can switch to other keywords, in
Yeah.
future.
Yeah. I think what I quite like keywords because they're useful for SEO and PPC,
Yeah.
right? Because your paid ads as well as your natural rankings.
Right.
I was doing some Googling. It was my husband's birthday, and we were trying to, we're in lockdown still, so we were trying to find something online that he would like, and we were searching, and the results, the people paid ads under those results were completely off topic for the keywords, and I was like, people are putting ads out there
Mm.
in spaces where if I click on that, I I'm not going to buy what they've got to offer because it's not matching my keyword. So I imagine
Yeah.
that's really important even um, from a SEO perspective, that your keywords that you're using really do have to match your offer and you as a
Yeah.
business, right?
Otherwise, you're just wasting your budget if you're running ads on those keywords which are not even related to the industry, and you're just putting or throwing the whole bunch of keywords and the big list there. So there's no point. So I think from SEO, it's important to focus on 10 bests, which you think. Just use a combination of long tail and short keywords. Just only not only focus on short keywords, because you won't be ranking on them easily because they're highly competitive. So
Right.
yeah,
Okay.
use a combination of long tail as well as
Right. So
short
it's the
tail
long tail,
keywords.
and that's interesting. Thank
Yeah.
you. Um, Nita, we've got a question from Trent. He says, I have a charity and I note that many websites are set up with scrollable pages, just like on a social media platform. So, that you just kind of keep scrolling down to see more content.
Mhm.
Um, I'm not sure if this is appropriate for an NGO or for not for profit or a charity. Should we just have fixed pages, like a set kind of screen length? What do you recommend there?
As long as they are loading properly and there's no issue with the speed of the website, I think it's good to go, because you want to show more content, you want to show more blogs and how many people are associated with NGO. you know Better
Mm,
than me, Rona. You're running a charity. So I think as long as it's not hampering the overall speed of the website, it's fine. Any kind of design, and it should be better in mobile devices also. I mean, not sure how it is looking like in other devices or other like iPads and laptops and other screen sizes. So making sure that you're doing these random checks and seeing if it's not hampering the website or the speed
yeah.
of the website mainly.
That's the one thing I've learned is you've got to recheck your site frequently, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
they can, check it one week and it's fine. And some, Chrome does an update and suddenly you've got an issue.
Yeah.
I do, Rosalind is asking the name of Niddy. What's your surname, Niddy? I can't remember.
It's Ahuja.
Oh gosh. Auja.
Yeah.
Niddy, Nid, um, oh God, I've forgotten.
NIDHI.
Yeah, Nidhi. Sorry, Rosalinda was just asking. But Trent, I think in terms of the long copy, I agree with Nidhi. As long as it's presented, not slowing down the site, you can have those long copy pages. I know. I don't think it makes any difference whether you're a business or a charity. I think they're still really good to have if they were set up well and working well. I know for the charity that I work with, we have a lot on our homepage, but we repeat that content on a separate page. So, for example, we've got our supporters on the homepage listed there, but then we have a separate supporters page that it clicks over to where we give more detail. Nidhi's surname is Ahuja, Rosalinda. I'll pop it in the chat here so that everybody's got Nidhi's name. Sorry, Nidhi.
H U J
Ahuja.
U J A.
Yeah. Yeah, so does anybody else have any more questions before we finish? I think this has been really helpful, Nidhi, and I think there's some really good tools that you can give things a go with yourself, which is what I like. But of course, if you need help, we are here to help people as well. Trent's just saying, I find that the scrollable websites have too much content and graphics, which is confusing and overwhelming for our demographic of 55 to 80-year-olds. And I think that's a really good point, Trent, in that you have to keep in mind, even though it's not going to affect your SEO, you have to keep in mind who's going to be your audience, and making sure
Yeah.
that your content is audience appropriate. And like you're saying, they might need to have less content, basically, to help them. Very good graphics to help them as well. Maybe even, I know there's a big issue with size of copy for
Mm.
people in that age group as well. Although I'm nearing 55, and I do like to think I'm still all right. Nidhi, thank you so much. Was there anything else you wanted to finish off with?
Now, just keep on doing organic stuff, organic SEO. I think it's very important for the websites. That's it from my side. And it's
Awesome.
for free. So that's the tip here.
Yes, totally. Awesome. Thank you, Nidhi. I'm just going to finish off with our rounding up slides. So Zeld has helped over 15,000 businesses transform digitally over the last 20 years. And if you'd like your website audited for free, or even getting a better idea around a potential digital strategy for your business, then please get in touch. We provide free strategy or website audit sessions with our experienced digital business strategists. And we do have an offer today associated with this webinar. I think you've got a little offer screen there. You can just register with that, or get in contact with us via our website for that as well. Our GEM, or Get E-commerce Movement initiative, is available to all small to medium-sized businesses who need to get online. We started this at the very first level of COVID last year, really to just help small to medium-sized businesses get online quickly and adapt to doing business online. We are offering free website builds for e-commerce, service and charity businesses with no sale and no hosting arrangement for the first 12 months, just to really support businesses as they transition to being online. And if you'd like to know more about that, please just visit our website, zeld.com, for more information on that. And please share that with anyone that you think might be able to benefit from that program. Our next webinar is on the 1st of December. It is our last one for the year. It's going to be a year wrap up with marketing trends, best practices and predictions for 2022. Just trying to set you up for the new year well by closing off well this year. And I'm going to be presenting that with Lisa, she's our customer services manager. And I just wanted to give a really special thank you to you, Nidhi, for your expertise. I agree with Rosalinda and Pam that it's been really interesting, and your knowledge has been really appreciated. If you've missed part of the webinar or would like to see it again, we do record all of these, and they can be found on our website and on YouTube. And we will send out a link today with today's webinar recording. And like I said, it's going to have this new function where you can actually ask us questions by just even watching the recording, and they'll be sent through to us, and we can reply and support you as you're watching the re-recording of it. So, and again, if you know of anyone that this webinar can help, please share that. And basically, really appreciate you all coming and attending and asking questions. And I wish you all a happy and safe week, and look forward to seeing you again in 2 weeks' time. Take care.